Hey, very good, friends. Doc South here, and a rainy day in North Jersey. In fact, it's been a rainy week. We've last since I guess about what, Saturday or so now. Maybe I forget what happened Friday. I don't think it was so bad on Friday, but Saturday, oy. Rain yesterday, rain today, rain tomorrow, rain. Yeah. Boy, the old, I'd love to show you a picture of the Musconetcong out back, but it's just raining too hard. I don't think it'd be good for my camera, but wow. Yeah, she's all brown. Looks like the old mighty Mississippi out there. Expect to see the old Robert E. Lee come chugging upstream here, heading for Netcong. I don't. I think right now it might make it, except the current might be too strong. I don't know. They have to really pour on the steam. But yeah, we got plenty of room. We're on a bluff overlooking the river, so we're in pretty good shape. We have to come up about 30 feet to bother us. But oh my, yeah. Well, hey, we can use the rain. A lot of lawns are brown. The forest is getting dry, so this is probably a good thing, even though, yeesh. Okay. And so far the roof held, knock wood. Yeah, there you go. Okay, good. Listen, I've been doing these things, trying to remember back to when I was about 4 years old. It's hard to do, being 72. I'm trying to go back about 68 years, right? I just realized there was one thing. Man, when I was a kid, I was the pickiest darn eater. Oh my God, I guess I still am a little. I mean, there's some things I just don't want to eat, liver and stuff, yeah. But the potato chips, I'm always up for potato chips, yes. But I remember my parents used to have this meal. I think it was one of my father's favorites. It was boiled ham. There's this ham you can get at the supermarket. Today I'll look at the and see if I can find one in the meat department at the supermarket I work at, and see if I can. By the way, I'd tell you what market I work at, but they don't like you doing that for some reason. I go figure. I don't get it, but but still, I'll go look and see what I can find. And it basically was a ham that's usually about 1 or 2 pounds. It's about like that. Yeah, and it comes almost shaped up like a cold cut. Somehow they form it into like a cylinder with tips on the end. Yeah, and it's got a bit of a crust to it on the outside. Inside it's ham. It's actually a very lean cut of meat. There might be a little fat in it. And all in all, now that I'm older, I got to say it tastes pretty darn good. In fact, I'm thinking I might get one. But what you did was you boiled it. It couldn't be easier to cook. You throw it in the pot, throw some water in, add a little, let's see, cabbage, yeah, chopped up, wedged cabbage, cut cabbage into hunks and throw it in there, and a bunch of small potatoes. Yeah, you don't even, if it's the right kind of potato, with the right kind of skin, you don't even have to peel them. Just maybe cut them in half, throw them in. If the potatoes are only about that big, heck, you don't even, between a golf ball and a tennis ball, just throw them in. They'll be okay. You can cut them, person on the table, when they're on your plate, you can cut them. And basically, you just boil the heck out of it, for a few hours. And when it's all done, man, it's nice and tender. You slice it up. You don't slice it like salami. You slice it, like in pieces about like that. Breaks apart with a fork. The potatoes, the cabbage. I guess you could add some. There is a spice you can use. I think it's sort of almost like, it's kind of like the equivalent of making a corned beef. Yeah, it's like that. But oh God, it's good. But I remember as a kid, I'd smell that cabbage cooking. And I don't know. I'd see Mom stuff the ham into the pot, and it'd be all steaming and stuff. And man, I don't know. I'd start crying right away. Yeah, didn't want it. And that'd drive my father nuts. I'd usually have to go to my room. Cry in there. That's where you're gonna cry. Yeah. And worked hard to earn that money for that ham. You're gonna eat it. Oh yeah, oh, it was awful. And eventually, I think Mom actually had to make me like a peanut butter and jelly. Everyone else is eating that ham, and it. Then all of a sudden, one day when I was a teenager, darned if that ham didn't taste good. And you know why? Because you can thank our neighbor next door. Yep. Across the street, rather, across the street. Old Jen McCoy. She's long since passed away, but boy, what a nice lady. And, again, back in the 40s, your friends' parents were your parents. Yeah. You had like 18 parents, on the street you lived on. When back then, right after World War II, the parents kept an eye on. I think it was the soldiers kept an eye on each other, in the service, and the wives, or the girlfriends back home who eventually would become wives, kept an eye on the other wives, and just everybody kind of looked out for one another. And actually it was a good thing, and. So if my parents were going out for see a movie or something, well, I'd just Mom would say, go over to the McCoys there. They're going to take care of you for supper. I said, oh yeah, okay. Do I got to stay overnight there? No, they said you're going to. We'll be back where your father and I are going to the movies. Oh, okay. Why can't I go to the movies? 'Cause it's not a kid movie. You wouldn't like it. No cartoons. Oh, okay. And so I'd head over and find my friend Jackie, and we'd play in the yard. Pound on each other and stuff, and just have a ball. Kid his sister, that kind of thing. And I go walking in. Again, I'm about 4 years old. And by the way, his sister could beat both of us up. Yeah, okay, I'm just saying. We'd be in trouble if we hit her. Say, yeah, we'd be in trouble if we hit her. She wasn't in trouble if she hit us. Okay. Anyway, so I'm walking into the house. Jackie, I don't know, he's doing some kind of chore or something, and so I walk into the kitchen and I see Mrs. McCoy, who I call Jen. First name basis. I say, hey Jen, how you doing? She says, well, hi, how are you? She says, well, I hear you're going to stay for supper here. I said, yeah. So what you cooking? She says, well, look. And I climb up, I look up on the counter, and oh my God, I almost started crying. It was one of those darn hams. And I said, oh no, is this what you're cooking? She says, well, yeah. She says, it's a nice ham. We cook it up with potatoes. Your mom's made this. Yeah, but all of a sudden my world comes crashing down around me. You'd have thought I lost on Jeopardy or something, And she says, well, what's the matter? She says, well, I don't like that ham. She says, oh, well, your mom cooks this? Yeah, I don't like it. No. And she says, well, yeah, but your mom's making the wrong ham. I said, what? Yeah. She says, no, this ham, your mom uses, I think it's pig ham, right? I said, yeah, it's she said it's made from pigs. Yeah. She says, have you ever tried goose ham? No. She says, well, goose ham's pretty darn good, and that's what this is. It's a goose ham. Well, I'll be doggone. I said, really? She says, yeah, here, look. And she shows me the letters, P-O-R-K. She says, that spells goose. I said, well, darned if it doesn't. Okay. So that's goose ham, huh? Yeah. She says, well, I'll be doggone. She says, oh, it tastes much better. It's leaner, very tasty. You'll love it. And I put these spices in. These, by the way, are goose ham spices, not pork ham spices. So, oh. Well, okay. Anyway, long story short, I sit down at the table. Mr. McCoy, who I think delivered beer to taverns, he had a beer at the table. The rest of us were, drinking milk, and they put that goose ham in front of me. My God, I don't know what it was, but it sure tasted good. My God, it was delicious. And of course, the next morning, I wake up and I had fallen asleep over at the McCoys, and I guess the parents came and got me and must have thrown me in my crib. my bed, whatever. And I got up the next morning, sat down at the table, and I'm eating my, I'm eating my cereal, my Rice Krispies. And Mom said, I hear you had goose ham last night. She says, well, yeah. I said, Mom, it was delicious. Mrs. McCoy said you ate 3 plates full. I said, I did. It was really good. God, and the cabbage that went with it, it couldn't have tasted better than those potatoes when you mushed them up. She says, well, she told me that it's goose ham you really like, and your father likes goose ham. So from now on, I'll get goose ham. How's that? When we have that. I said, good. Yeah, anytime, Mom. Boy, that stuff's all right. And it's funny? To this day, I still call it goose ham. Yeah. Anyway, good old Mrs. McCoy, bless her soul. What a wonderful, wonderful lady she was. Pretty, too, I always thought. And, yeah, so. In any case, yeah, eat your goose ham. And that actually, when fall comes, I'm thinking I'm going to go get me one of them. They're not that much money, if I recall right. And they sure are good. You cook them right. But you got to be goose ham. And use the goose spices. Okay, just so you know. Yeah, I was a pretty gullible kid. I sure was. Okay. Anyway, friends, that's a wrap. See you. God bless.